Welcome to Ready, Set, Collaborate with Wanda Pearson. This is where ideas spark, connections grow, and collaborations fuse success. Tune in for inspiring stories, expert insights, and game-changing conversations. Let's build, connect, and thrive together. Remember, collaboration is the key to success.
Welcome to the Ready, Set, Collaborate podcast with Wanda Pearson. I am so excited to have my guest, Davida Bostic, and she's going to talk to us about integrative nutrition, health. And I know I need to get myself together, Davida. You probably don't have to be helping me out as far as what I can.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a sweet tooth, and I need to get rid of that sweet tooth. My
Yes,
doctor already told me that. I am so excited for you to come and share your knowledge that can help people get it together, because this is 2025 and health is so important to be able to do the right things to stay alive longer, right? Say hello to the audience, Davida.
Hi, audience. It's Davida Bostic, Integrative Nutrition Health Coach. How's everyone?
Yes. Yeah, I'm so excited. I've been trying to get her on, and now I got her on. This
Yes.
year has been a great, we've had some great guests on to
Yes.
really help people. And this is very important to what you're doing as far as helping us to do the right thing, to have the right approach to our nutrition. So I think all of us can use this, and I want my husband to hear this too. He's going to hear it too, as far as what we should and what we shouldn't do. Let's get this show party on the road here, and I'm going to talk about Davida's bio. Meet Davida Bostic, an integrative nutrition health coach and the creator of the M.A.I. health food model, a practical approach to nutrition that helps busy individuals lose weight, boost energy, and cut sugar without giving up convenience. With years of experience coaching entrepreneurs, professionals, and parents, Davida believes in meeting people where they are and guiding them through the ultra-processed food landscape toward a sustainable whole foods lifestyle. Forget strict diets. Her method is all about realistic, lasting health transformation. I love that. So I can I don't have to give up everything. You can help me do.
No, you don't have to give up everything right now. Giving up everything is really not for everybody. And just the way that the mind naturally works is just going cold turkey on things usually is not sustainable. We're beings of habit. And so it's habits that really help us make long-term changes, not just us deciding one day, okay, light bulbs on, we're going to make a change. It is the habits that sustain us.
Absolutely. And habits are hard to break. So by you starting off slowly and getting us to the point that we need to be in, that's where
Yes.
you come in to actually help us be sustainable.
Yes.
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 Did I say that right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to ask some questions here for you, because
Okay.
I wanted to know what inspired you to become a health coach.
What inspired me to become a health coach? Growing up, my dad used to do amateur bodybuilding when he was younger. And so growing up with him, just having him around, of course, by the time we were born, he wasn't bodybuilding, doing the amateur bodybuilding anymore. But growing up, just him being around, he believed in fitness. He was a very fit man. He believed in his supplements. He believed in eating healthy. He used to research a lot of foods. He would always inspire me and my brother to just try a lot of different things. He introduced us to a lot of different foods at the time. He introduced us to things like goat milk, honey and banana sandwiches, and with raisins. And it was like, oh, what is this man doing? We would have oatmeal, and we would have tropical fruit oatmeal. And we're like, why you got papaya and oatmeal? Type of thing. But my dad would always say, no, you got to eat it. You got to make sure you get your nutrition in. Like, you got to explore food. So just growing up, him and my mother being entrepreneurs, they were always on the go. And they actually helped inspire me to become a health coach, to be honest with you. Just having that background and having parents who worked a lot. My mom couldn't get in the kitchen every day and cook, so they would always try to source like the best options of food. My dad was very big on us taking multivitamins, drinking a lot of water, and just over time, just living that lifestyle. Then witnessing a lot of my mom's friends and our family friends and just their health and how they suffered from health issues and things like that. I just put it together. I'm like, okay, what is a good lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle? Every night, my dad would do a set of sit-ups, push-ups, and jumping jacks. No matter how tired he was, he'll sleep and do jumping jacks because he was just that motivated and adamant about getting your fitness in every day. That really became a catalyst for me to become a health coach. And it helped to really push me in the direction to want to be able to help people, because I noticed that a lot of people usually suffer, especially when they're busy. They have children, you run businesses, or you have a very high demanding career. You suffer in choices. And just being able to have someone in or community that understands how to make good choices, to develop good habits, to live a healthy life. That's what really motivated me to become a health coach.
That's inspirational, I tell you, especially when you learn from a young age to be able
Yeah.
to do this. And you definitely got that. This was God. This was your mission from God to
Yeah.
continue to build his legacy of
Yes,
what you're
ma'am.
doing now. That is great. What
Thank you.
does integrative nutrition mean?
Yeah, integrative nutrition is basically an approach to nutrition that factors in the whole person, but not just the whole person, but what works for the whole person. Integrative nutrition also takes into account the multiple health modalities, veganism, paleo, all the different type of diets, all different type of modalities, whether they're holistic or medical, to help fix or get to the root of a problem with a person. For me personally, based on the principles of integrative nutrition, I developed something that I could like to call the 7 sovereign foods, right? Integrative nutrition to me focuses on these core perspectives, and it is spirituality, nutrition, physical fitness, knowledge of self, community, environment, and emotional health. When you talk about integrative nutrition, there's a wheel that I basically created that has those 7 factors on it. And those 7 factors is integrative nutrition. It's not just about what you eat. It's not just about how you eat it. It's not just about eating, period. It's about how you move. It's about how you think. It's about how well you know yourself. It is about the environment you're in, the community you're in, and taking into account how all of these elements help to frame your mind in the proper way to make good decisions about your health on a daily basis.
That's awesome. And I'm gonna make you repeat those at the end of the 7 principles again.
Yeah.
No, I agree with all of those that you're
Yeah.
saying here. So yeah, just that's gonna be your ending note. Now, what are the 7 principles again? I'm gonna ask you, Davida. So you're gonna tell us what those
Yeah.
7 principles. But no, it
Yeah.
really makes sense to do that. There. How is whole food lifestyle different from a typical diet?
Yeah, so I lived a whole foods lifestyle for a long time. Being a teenager, coming into adulthood, a whole foods lifestyle is not a restrictive lifestyle. It is something that naturally goes with the flow of how your life is. It is about those choices again that you make on the daily basis. A whole foods lifestyle is in the morning, instead of me having a 5 stack of pancakes with eggs, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to have lemon water and a bowl of berries with some grapes and some oranges, and then I'm going to go on a 15-minute walk. Typical diets usually say you can't eat this, you can't eat this, you can't eat that, you can't eat that. A whole foods lifestyle says, okay, this is the time that I have, this is the money that I have. I'm going to take this and make this choice, and then I'm making this choice for the betterment of my health. I'm not choosing to eat this because someone said I can't. If I choose not to eat something, it's because it's not the best for me. So a whole foods lifestyle is also not just about what you eat, is how you eat it, but also the mindset behind how you eat what you eat. And I'm going to give you another example. Whole foods lifestyle mindset is for lunch. I'm just going to decide to eat a heavy lunch so I can eat a lighter dinner. I know that bread bloats me. I know that I have an allergy to cheese. I'm not a vegan per
Mhm.
se, but I'm not going to have anything with gluten for lunch, and I'm not going to have anything with cheese in it for lunch. What I'll do, I'll get something that has more rice, more vegetables, and I'm going to make sure that every meal that I eat has a raw vegetable on it or a fresh vegetable. I have to eat a salad or I have to eat a bowl of fruit. That is a whole foods lifestyle. Typical diet says no, you can't. Sometimes coming from a place of biasness as to why this is the ultimate best, and not necessarily what is the best for you in your situation.
That's powerful. And that
Yeah.
makes sense. Now I can think I can do that.
Yes.
Because I actually asked, what are the fruits that has less sugar in it?
Yeah.
I know I'm not a papaya drinker, but I said, okay, they got strawberries. I do like strawberries. So I
Yeah.
didn't realize I love pineapples, but I guess that has
Yeah.
a lot of sugar. Can you eat pineapple too?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it's a natural sugar. The sugar that comes from a fruit, when the plant converts that sugar in the fruit, is different from the sugar that you get when it's processed in a facility.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I think I go on that whole food. So,
Yeah.
so how can someone transition to a whole food diet easily?
Okay, this is where I came in. This is where I come in at, right? Someone transitioning into a whole foods diet easily. Like I say, I take into account the what I like to call the seven sovereign foods, but there's a method that I created, and you read it earlier. It's called the My Health Food Model, M.A.I. I don't call it the M.A.I, I call it the My Health Food Model. And the My Health Food Model basically stands for minimize, alternate, and integrate. It's not about going cold turkey, cutting everything off. It's about taking small steps to minimize something first.
Mhm.
Once you start making minimizations on something that you know, hey, I have a problem with sugar, I have a problem with meat, I have a problem with eating fatty fried foods, we're going to minimize that. Once we can minimize that, then we're going to work on the alternations. What do I like that can give me the same satisfaction that is a great alternate? And
Mhm.
usually that's where you would stay for a while. You'll stay in the minimizing and alternating, because why? You can still eat what you want to eat. And most of the time, it just comes in a form of how you eat it, right? For instance, if someone love cookies, right? What a lot of people don't know is they may think that, oh, I love the sweetness of crunchy cookies, or I love chocolate. But
Mhm.
sometimes it's really not even the taste of the cookies that you want. It's actually the crunch of the cookie that you want. It is the
Mhm.
texture that you want. This particular texture you can get from cookies. So now we know, okay, this is more of a texture thing, not necessarily a taste thing. Now we're going to think about, okay, what is an alternative to this crunchy type of cookie that gives me this same feeling? And so now we're minimizing the traditional cookie, and now we're alternating with something else, just one at a time. One at
Mhm.
a time. Okay, I can tolerate this. I can tolerate this. And then once we do the minimize, alternate, rotation for a while, guess what? We go to integrate. Once you get to the integration stage, the integration is, you know what? I am absolutely going to make this a permanent staple in my life. I am going to now do more of this. I am going to do more of this. And with the My Health Food Model, I know it works for me. It's worked for a lot of people around me that I've talked to, that I've given them tips on how to fix that, people that I've coached and things. And I just hope it works for the world, to be honest with you. But that's definitely one thing that I saw, because people don't like to be told no. They don't like to be told no. They don't like to be told I can't. Because sometimes when you say you can't, no, it's
Yeah.
I think I want to go do it more. How you like that? And so it's like,
Exactly.
how do you break that habit? And let's minimize it. Let's find out, which again is where a health coach comes into place. A health coach helps you find what the problem really is. And sometimes most of the time, the problem is usually not exactly what you think it is. It's not necessarily the taste. It's not necessarily the place that you're going. It is the feeling that you get from doing this thing. And
Mm.
so if we can find alternations for that feeling, then we can actually start to integrate healthier lifestyles. That's how a person would be able to transition to a whole foods diet more easily.
Wow, that's deep. And that's so true. I was going to ask you what M.A.I, and I wrote it down here.
Yeah.
Minimize, alternate, and integrate. That's
Yes.
M.A.I. So
Health
we know
food
what that is.
model.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That's awesome. That really does make sense. Yep, that crunchiness of cookies, that's what I need to give up my, my
Yeah.
child. So we got to get an alternate of that.
Yeah.
How do you help clients overcome that food cravings?
Yeah. So in terms of overcoming food cravings, what I just explained with the My Health Food model, that's how we start the steps of overcoming those food cravings, because that's one step. Another step would also be like testing, doing DNA testing to see, are there any imbalances in your system that's causing your brain to say, hey, I need more of this red meat. I need more of this chocolate, because there's something in that food that your body is probably saying, hey, when you give me this, I feel better. Give me more and more of this. So there are two ways. Like I said, is with the testing to make sure that your nutrition, mineral levels, and everything like that is good, which of course is something that you can that can be overseen by a nutritionist or dietitian, because again, I'm a health coach. I offer the solution. I provide you with the tools and I offer you the solution to get to the problem, and I help you implement the habits, right? But I'm not the one that helps to diagnose and give you all of that stuff like that. But yeah, that's how you can do that. That's how I
Wow.
help my clients with their cravings. We get to the root of that.
And that makes sense. Yeah, I definitely love what you're saying here. So it's just
Yeah.
trying to get started. I'm to have you on again because there's a lot of information here. What role do stress and sleep play in nutrition?
Whew. Oh my gosh. It is so much to unpack. It is so much to unpack with that. Stress and sleep. Okay. Stress is a number one. Let me reframe that. Sleep is a number one pillar to good health and nutrition. Okay? Because when you sleep and you have good sleep, your body actually craves the proper things. Your brain can function better. Your nerves, your neuron, everything in your body comes on sync. It's like it comes online when you have proper sleep. Okay? Because it's not just about the act of sleeping, but the biological process of when you sleep that also factors into your environment. Okay? Good sleep is also determined by environment. Sleep, major pillar. Now, stress is a major pillar in destroying health. And knowing how to properly manage stress and not allow stress to interrupt one of your main pillars of health, which is your sleep, is what helps you with proper nutrition. Like I say, to me, nutrition is the spirituality, it's the knowledge of self, it's the environment, the community, it's the physical health, it's all of that. The role that stress and sleep plays in nutrition is, one is the destroyer and one is the creator. One helps to build your health and one helps to deconstruct your health. And when it comes to the way that your body processes food, when it comes to the way that your body processes minerals, vitamins from the food that you eat, when it comes to how you eat, what you desire to eat, even cravings, when your sleep is not on point, you crave a lot more unhealthy foods because your body is trying to do what? It's trying to release the stress. When your body is over stressed because of poor sleep, your body is going to say, hey, go eat this sweet thing, go eat this red meat, go get that fried food, those are all signals to reduce stress. And it's just so much to unpack there, but those are some of the main pillars of how stress and sleep play a role in nutrition.
Wow, that's awesome as far as how you laid it down.
Yeah.
That's so important. Girl, we're running down the time here. What are some of the budget-friendly whole food options that you can use? And
Okay, budget friendly.
Making it fun and easy. Well,
okay. Budget friendly whole foods options. Let's see, budget friendly. Whew, when you say budget friendly, what we talking about? No more than $50? $100?
It depends. Yeah, with the food cost today, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. So some budget-friendly whole foods options. Fresh vegetables are usually always the best. Those are usually your top whole foods. Next to fresh, you can do frozen foods. So you can do things like bananas, oranges, those basics, berries, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, blueberries, those type of things. Sometimes even treat yourself to maybe a dragon fruit, some type of exotic fruit once a week. Just pay the $5 for it, $3 for it, because the amount of nutrition that you get from that food versus a $5 meal at McDonald's or Burger King is really going to benefit your health longer term. So you can do berries, oatmeal, if you're into oatmeal, even quinoa. Just get a bag of quinoa, do a half a cup of quinoa in the morning, and season it, and put some fruit on the side. Or you can do frozen fruit like the dragon fruits, the mixed berries, and make smoothies with it. So those are some very budget friendly whole foods options.
That's good. Smoothies, would smoothies be part of that? Can you make smoothies with that, like the fruit?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's usually what I do. I make smoothies with the fruit and the yogurt
Yeah.
that I add in there. That's good to know. How can we make it fun and easy with families?
How could you make it fun and easy with families? Get the family involved. Definitely get the family involved. With me, because I have my children, when we're eating healthy, I allow them to say, hey, okay, everybody pick a fruit. I'm going to pick a fruit. What type of fruit do you want? And most of the time, it's usually expensive fruit bowls. But I say, no, we're not going to do a $30 fruit bowl. We're going to spend about $20. We're going to get some bags of fruit. We're going to make our own fruit bowls, which usually come out a lot better. So definitely getting the family involved,
That's good.
family, community involved. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I agree. So yeah, you're giving me some ideas here, but I got to talk to you offline as far as the things I need
Yeah.
to do. So what's a simple go-to meal you recommend?
Whew, a simple go-to meal that I recommend. Okay, a lot of people feel like this is not the best because people like variety, but a simple go-to meal is some rice. I like to do coconut rice with some black beans, right? And a kale salad, a blueberry kale salad. So you just get some kale, blueberries, and maybe some vegan feta cheese, or you can do what it's called like a pate, like a cashew or a nut pate. You toss the kale and the blueberries in that with some type of bread. Some type of bread. You can do things like unleavened bread. You can do a cornbread. A lot of people in the South, they eat the cornbread. So you can do a cornbread. You can do a pita bread. But I usually like to balance my plates with a bean, a protein, a starch, a grain, and a fresh fruit, a vegetable, and water.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Girl, we're running out of time here, but let me ask you this, and then we're going to do the final takeaways. How
Mhm.
does the mindset affect eating habits?
Ooh, to be honest with you, mindset is the number one factor that determines good eating habits. And that is one of the reasons, that's the main reason why I actually developed the My Health Food model. Because, like I say, I realize people don't like to be told, no, you cannot do. No, if we can continue to feel like we're in control of our choices, we will make better decisions long term. And so mindset is the number one key. If I make the decision to say, you know what, this is not good for me, so I'm going to minimize this, but let me try with something else. I feel good about this. You know what? I'm going to make this a long-term thing. And the next thing, by the time I get to the end of the My Health Food model, which is the integrate, I'm no longer eating that thing that's unhealthy for me. But because it's been making me feel so good during this time, I can take this with me long term. And with a lot of people that I have helped with the My Health Food model, they still use these same principles to this day, and it works for them. My mom called me sometime, my sister called me, and they're like, "Hey, this is that. I'm trying to eat this is that, but you know what? I did this the other day, but what I'm going to do the last 2 weeks, I've been on track like this. I've been on track like this," and they're very mindful, very aware just for that. But mindset is the number one. If your mindset is not right,
Yeah.
it's not going to work. And believe it or not, there's a large percentage of people, and I'm not going to say the percentage because I don't want to be inaccurate, but there's actually a large percentage of people that revert after going on strict diets. Most of them don't. And that's why a lot of large weight loss companies and stuff, they're billion-dollar industries, because people do not stay on track with strict diets. They don't. It's not practical to life.
This is great because it's an alternative that you're offering
Yeah.
versus because when you go on those diets and you lose the weight, then you get off them, then you're gaining the weight back again. What you're offering is actually an alternative that minimize alternate M.A.I, minimize alternate integrate. That's great. We're winding down, but tell those 7 principles you told us about again.
Okay, yeah. So the 7 sovereign foods of health is spirituality, nutrition, physical fitness, knowledge of self, community, environment, and emotional health.
That makes sense. That's great. That is great. So where can listeners connect with you? Because you're giving a lot of great information. I'm telling you.
Yes,
my head is like spinning. Okay, I got it.
Listeners can connect with me on Instagram. My Instagram is my name, Davida Bostic. My TikTok is my name, Davida Bostic, or you can just look up Davida. You can find me there. And my YouTube is Davida Bostic. So you just look for my name and you'll find me.
Okay. And we spell your name Davida.
Yes.
David with an A.
Yes, David with an A and then Bostic.
That's awesome. Davida, I appreciate you being on the podcast with me. And you gave some great inspiration as far as what we do, because now, like I said, this is 2025. Now we need to get our lifestyle together, but get our
most definitely
together to be able to live a longer life.
Yes, ma'am.
No, thank you so much for being on the podcast again. And
thank you.
I'm gonna have you on again because you gave a lot of stuff. She do so many other things, but we just picked this subject for today.
Yes.
So,
thank you.
Definitely connect with Davida Bostic. She definitely have a lot of things to share to help you get on the right track as far as dieting, eating the right foods, and your lifestyle to live a long life.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you once again. Audience, I want you to make sure that you share, like, and follow Ready, Set, Collaborate podcast with Wanda Pearson. I'm on all podcast platforms as well as YouTube. So definitely connect with us and connect with Davida. Thanks again, Davida.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Wanda. Bye.
Bye.
That wraps up another episode of Ready, Set, Collaborate with Wanda Pearson. I hope you found inspiration and valuable insights to help you build meaningful connections and successful collaborations. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, share, and stay tuned for more great discussions. Until next time, keep collaborating and making an impact.